In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on January 6, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Wisconsin versus Rutgers. The Big Ten is set to feature an exciting Monday night matchup between the Wisconsin Badgers and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. These two teams met twice last season, with each team securing a victory on their home court. The Badgers are coming off an offensive explosion against Iowa, defeating the Hawkeyes 116-85 while easily covering as 6.5-point favorites. On the other hand, Rutgers recently faced Indiana on the road, falling 84-74 and failing to cover the 7.5-point spread as underdogs. The Wisconsin Badgers are currently riding a strong win streak, and their recent performance against Iowa showcased their offensive firepower. Wisconsin shot an impressive 64.5% from the field in their dominant win, including 2-1 of 3-1 from beyond the arc and 1-5 of 1-7 from the free throw line. Additionally, the Badgers held a significant 37-21 edge in rebounds. However, they did struggle with turnovers, committing 13 miscues that led to 21 points for Iowa. Despite the turnovers, Wisconsin has managed to score 74 or more points in each of their last 5 games, although they have allowed 74 or more points in 4 of those contests as well. Rutgers, meanwhile, faced a formidable opponent in Indiana in their most recent game and came away with a less-than-ideal loss. The Scarlet Knights shot 44.3% from the floor in that game, but struggled at the free throw line, making only 1-4 of 2 3 attempts. They were also out-rebounded 48-36 and committed 11 turnovers, which resulted in 19 points for the Hoosiers. Only one player managed to score in double figures, and the team lacked significant contributions from other players, which hindered their ability to keep up with Indiana. Rutgers boasts 2 of the top freshmen in college basketball, but their lack of depth remains a concern. One of their key players, Dylan Harper, missed the last game due to illness, and his availability for this matchup is uncertain. If Harper is unable to play, the Scarlet Knights may struggle to compete at a high level. Ace Bailey has shown that he can deliver impressive performances, but Rutgers' overall lack of depth means that it will be difficult for them to succeed without both of their top stars on the floor. Meanwhile, the Badgers are coming off a program record 21 three-pointers made in their previous game, and they have several players capable of getting hot from beyond the arc. Wisconsin's experience will be critical as they head on the road. The Badgers currently rank 12th in the nation in offensive efficiency, while Rutgers lags behind at 98th in defensive efficiency. Therefore, the Wisconsin Badgers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both Wisconsin and Rutgers enter this game with a 1-2 record in Big Ten play, making this a crucial matchup for both teams as they look to get back to a .500 record in conference play. Wisconsin has proven to be a high-scoring team, putting up 116 points in their recent win over Iowa, but they will be playing on the road for this game. The Badgers are averaging over 83 points per game, but have allowed 88 and 86 points in their first 2 road games this season, which could present a challenge against a team like Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights have suffered a bad loss to Princeton and a double-digit defeat at Indiana, but they are generally strong at home. However, Rutgers has struggled defensively this season, allowing 75 points per game on average. Wisconsin's recent performance, where they scored 116 points in regulation against Iowa, demonstrates their offensive prowess. This wasn't a game against a lesser opponent. It was a Big Ten rivalry game, and the Badgers delivered a remarkable performance. Wisconsin is loaded with shooters, with 4 players having made more than 15 three-pointers so far this season, and they hit 21 in their last game. The Badgers are ranked 12th in the nation in offensive efficiency, while Rutgers sits 98th in defensive efficiency. Wisconsin will look to play at a fast pace, utilizing their perimeter scoring threats. such as Tanj, who averages 19 points per game, and Blackwell, who adds 15 points per game. Rutgers will attempt to counter this by playing at a fast pace as well, as they rank 49th in the nation in pace of play and will look to push the tempo and score quickly. Wisconsin has gone over the total in 4 of their last 5 games, and they are up against a Rutgers team that is also willing to play at a fast pace. Rutgers is currently ranked 56th in pace of play with an average of 74.1 possessions per game, while Wisconsin averages 72 possessions, but makes the most of each opportunity, particularly from the free throw line, where they lead all of Division I basketball with an 85.3% free throw shooting rate. The Badgers are 11-3 on the over this season, including a perfect 2-0 record when playing on the road, while Rutgers has gone 8-5-1 on the over. This game is expected to feature plenty of scoring from both sides. Given the offensive firepower on both teams, with Blackwell and Tanj on one side and the young scoring talents of Bailey and Harper on the other, both teams are likely to engage in a high-paced, high-scoring affair. With 2 well-coached offensive units, it's safe to expect plenty of points. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. TCU versus Houston. Big 12 conference play has officially begun, and this thrilling matchup on the hardwood will feature the TCU Horned Frogs facing off against the Houston Cougars. The two teams will be playing just days after their Saturday games, leading to a quick turnaround. TCU enters the game with a record of 8-5 on the season and holds a 1-1 standing within the Big 12 conference, while the Cougars are currently 10-3 with an undefeated 2-0 record in conference play. Houston has been on an impressive run, winning 6 consecutive games, and they have proven to be a dominant force on their home court, where they boast a perfect 5-0 record. This success at home follows a remarkable 18-0 finish in 2023 at the Fertitta Center, giving the Cougars significant momentum heading into this game. The 18-point spread favoring Houston in this contest is notably large, especially for a Big 12 conference game. However, the Cougars demonstrated their ability to cover such a spread in their previous game against Brigham Young University, where they secured an overwhelming 31-point victory. Houston will once again be playing at home, where they have won their last 30 games, and the atmosphere at the Fertitta Center is sure to be electric, providing the Cougars with an added boost as they look to perform at their highest level. Both teams are facing a quick turnaround after playing on Saturday, but this actually gives Houston a distinct advantage. In their blowout win over Brigham Young University, Houston's bench saw significant playing time, which should help keep their starters fresh. On the other hand, TCU has been dealing with some injury-related depth issues, which has forced them to rely on a smaller rotation of players. TCU's strength lies in its tough defense, particularly their ability to guard the perimeter and their tendency to play at a slower pace. This style of play could work to Houston's advantage, as they too prefer to grind out games but are far more efficient on offense. In fact, the Cougars have 3 players who are shooting over 40% from three-point range: guards L.J. Cryer, Emmanuel Sharp, and Terrence Arsenault. These 3 players are also Houston's top 3 scorers, and their sharp shooting from behind the arc could pose a significant challenge for a TCU defense that has been strong in limiting three-point shooting, allowing just 27.7% from beyond the arc. Houston's ability to stretch the floor will likely be a key factor in this game, putting pressure on TCU's defense. 10 Palms net ratings give TCU a 10.59 rating, while Houston sits at 32.82, reflecting a sizable difference of 22.23 between the two teams. This gap does not even account for the significant home court advantage that Houston enjoys, nor their superior depth. Houston's defense is a major point of emphasis for the team, as they have once again established themselves as one of the top defensive squads in the country. They currently rank first in both scoring defense and field goal defense, making them an extremely difficult team to score against. The Cougars also dominate on the boards, which could be problematic for TCU, a team that has struggled to secure defensive rebounds, having allowed 18 offensive rebounds in their game against Kansas State. Houston ranks 43rd in the nation in total rebounds per game and 30th in offensive rebounds, so TCU will need to avoid giving up second-chance opportunities. Moreover, Houston is an exceptional three-point shooting team, ranking 3rd in the nation in that category. This will put TCU's 8th-ranked three-point defense to the test. The Cougars have also been nearly unbeatable at home, winning 52 consecutive night games at the Fertitta Center. With a much tougher schedule and superior overall team play, Houston is poised to assert their dominance over the visiting Horned Frogs on Monday night. So the Houston Cougars to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams excel on the defensive end, ranking among the top 50 in the nation in scoring defense. TCU is ranked 41st in scoring defense, while Houston leads the country with the #1 ranking in that category. In their last 11 games, both teams have been consistent with the under, with a 7-4 record in those games. TCU has been struggling offensively as they rank just 211th in the country in shooting percentage, with an overall field goal percentage of only 43%. This issue will be magnified when they face off against a Houston defense that ranks first in the nation in field goal defense. Additionally, the Cougars are known for their ability to slow the game down, ranking 361st in the nation in pace of play. With their superior rebounding ability, Houston will be in control of the tempo, limiting TCU's opportunities to push the pace. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Ohio State versus Minnesota. The Big Ten basketball season is back in action on Monday, and an exciting matchup is set to take place between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. This game promises to be an interesting contest as both teams are currently positioned in the middle of the standings, with each side eager to make a statement. Minnesota has established itself as a strong defensive team, but it struggles to generate much offensive output. On the other hand, Ohio State has a more well-rounded roster with superior depth and a much more potent defensive game than the Golden Gophers. Ohio State ranks 22nd nationally in three-point shooting percentage, converting 38.4% of its attempts, and is also 10th in the country in defending the three-pointer, holding opponents to just 27.8%. In contrast, Minnesota has struggled with its long-range shooting, making only 30.1% of its three-pointers, which ranks 298th in the nation. Furthermore, the Gophers allow opponents to shoot 34% from beyond the arc, placing them 210th in that category. Looking at recent trends, Ohio State has been relatively successful against the spread, with a 4-2 record in their last 6 games overall. Minnesota, however, has had significant struggles, failing to cover the spread in 5 straight games. The Gophers are also 0-9-1 against the spread in their last 10 home games, highlighting their ongoing issues with covering at home. Minnesota has had a tough start to their conference play, sitting at 0-3 in Big Ten games, with an average margin of defeat of -14.3 points across those contests. The Gophers also rank poorly in various offensive categories. They are 206th in field goal percentage, 349th in free throw percentage, and 317th in three-point shooting. In addition, Minnesota has yet to record a win over a Power 4 opponent this season, losing all 4 of those matchups by at least 6 points. Meanwhile, Ohio State ranks 31st in three-point shooting, so if they can deliver a solid performance from deep, they should have no trouble defeating this struggling Minnesota team. In terms of head-to-head records, Ohio State has won 4 of the last 6 matchups against Minnesota, but the Golden Gophers have a solid 7-2 mark against the spread in their last 9 encounters with the Buckeyes. The over has hit in 4 of the last 6 games between these two teams. In their most recent meeting last season, Minnesota emerged victorious at home with an 88-79 win, covering the spread and sending the game over the total. For this matchup between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Minnesota Golden Gophers, Ohio State enters as a -5.5 road favorite. Offensively, Ohio State outpaces Minnesota by 14 points per game, while the Gophers boast a better defensive record, allowing 5 fewer points per game than the Buckeyes. Ohio State is winning by an average of 11.5 points this season, while Minnesota has a much smaller margin of victory, averaging just 2 points per game. Minnesota has struggled immensely against the spread this season, failing to cover in their last 10 games, posting a 0-8-2 record against the spread. So the Ohio State Buckeyes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Minnesota is known for playing at a very slow pace, ranking 4th in the country in terms of tempo, with only 62.5 possessions per 40 minutes. Ohio State, on the other hand, ranks 184th in tempo, averaging 68.5 possessions per 40 minutes. As mentioned earlier, the Gophers have a significant lack of offensive weapons, and both teams are capable of playing tough defense. Given the strengths and weaknesses of both teams, we can expect a low-scoring affair. Minnesota's slow style of play will likely help to limit the pace of the game, and they also do a solid job taking care of the ball, ranking 51st in turnover percentage. Offensively, Minnesota has been downright inefficient. While Dawson Garcia is capable of scoring and Lusai Patterson can contribute on occasion, the Gophers simply do not have much offensive talent beyond those two. Now, they must face an Ohio State defense that ranks 32nd in adjusted adjusted defensive efficiency, allowing just 97 points per 100 possessions. This will make it difficult for Minnesota to generate much offense. Additionally, the Gophers' extremely slow tempo, ranked 360th in adjusted tempo, averaging only 62.7 possessions per 40 minutes, means they are unlikely to score in high volumes. Ohio State plays at a mid-tier pace, ranking 171st in adjusted tempo with 68.7 possessions per 40 minutes. With this in mind, it seems improbable that the Gophers will be able to put up many points against the Buckeyes. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.